Good evening, everybody, and welcome to Everything Vaguely Paranormal. I'm Shelley Pruitt, and of course, with me are my partners in the paranormal, Mr. Blake Smith and Mr. Ryan Roberts. And we have our producer, Brittany, in the green room, who is punching the buttons and taking your questions to pop up on the screen. And you guys are going to have some tonight. We have a very special guest with us this evening, and his name is Mr. Nick Sarlo. Now, if you don't know who Nick Sarlo is, let me tell you. He is the founder of Shadowhunters Paranormal Investigations and Events. He is a podcaster, a filmmaker, and he is hosting this upcoming Paracon called Spirits in the Spring, which raises money for charity, which was really cool. And guys, how excited was I when I was telling you guys that, yay, we got him.
Yeah.
Like a phone call had to ensue where Shelly's like, drop what you're doing 2 seconds and jump on a call with me real quick.
You'll never guess who I got.
Well, Nick does a couple of different podcasts as well that he is a part of. And one of them I have listened to on several occasions. And so I am very excited to introduce to you guys, if we can bring him on the screen, Mr. Nick Sarlo. Hello, Nick. Welcome. How are you?
I'm good. How are you guys?
Fantastic.
Doing freaking fantastic.
Yeah.
Perfect. Thank you.
Yeah,
Thank you guys so much for having me on the show.
Thanks for coming on, man.
Yeah,
Yeah.
absolutely.
Absolutely. So, Nick, first thing, now tell me the name of the two podcasts that you actually participate in, because I actually wrote them down, as you can see, but I have serial killer handwriting, and so I can't remember I can't read the last part of my word.
No, that's okay. So I help with Greg Koss, who's on our team as well, on the Shadowhunters Facebook page. We do a show called Metaphysical Crossing, and that combines two people doing the Estes method, and the whole thing with that is to try to get spirits to jump from one location to another. And then we also have something called the Shadow Hour with Greg Koss again, where he has different speakers on from the paranormal or anything interesting. And then also on Sundays, we do have Jenny Davis, who's in Minnesota. She's actually using the Shadowhunters page. She does a show called Unturned Pages. And it's the same thing where she has different paranormal people on. Just about 2 weeks ago, I believe it was, she had Nick Groff.
Oh, wow.
He
nice.
was a guest on there, and that was pretty exciting to see Nick on our page and all that kind of stuff too.
So you're friends with those heavy hitters, right?
I don't know. I wouldn't say that, but
Very distant acquaintances, you know.
Yeah, right.
That's the way I describe it, at least.
we're just basic paranormal investigators, and we've been doing this for about 18 years now, and we love to have fun. That's our big thing is having fun and having a great time and showing people that, hey, this stuff is actually real.
Yeah.
So Dick, you are a believer, or are you a skeptical believer?
I'm a believer, especially after my paranormal experience, but I do still have a skeptical side of me, definitely.
As any good paranormal investigator should, right?
I was just about to say that. That's always a good thing to have, because I'm obviously a believer. I mean, we're all also paranormal investigators. Obviously, we've captured some wonderful stuff, but there's still that side of me that I'm just kind of like, maybe that was the wind that just happened to blow that door slamming shut with there no wind happening tonight, type
we
thing.
try to ding it more once we get scared.
But yeah, I mean, there's been times where I know why something happened or whatever, like something blew over or whatever. It's funny though, because there's a girl that I work with, and she goes, "It's just gravity. That's all it is. It's gravity. Nothing else. Just gravity."
So you tell me you saw that shadow walk across the hallway down there, but that's just gravity, right? No.
It's just gravity.
It's just gravity. That's all that it is.
It's gravity. And I was like, okay. And the thing is, I can't make you believe.
Exactly.
I can't make somebody do something, because maybe certain people want to believe, but I think a lot of it is a lot of people are too scared. And they're like, wait a minute, this is actually real. Ghosts are real. Spirits are real. Now, I don't know about like demons and stuff like that, because we've never came up against anything like that. And I hope to God we never do, because of some of the stuff I've heard. And But yeah, I mean, a lot of people don't believe. A lot of people do believe. If I can make a person believe, then I know my job. You know,
Mhm.
and
Absolutely.
if I can make you feel more comfortable with the paranormal field, then I know I've done my job too. Because yeah, it can be scary, but it's also kind of cool to know that hey, like life still technically continues after
There's
you
something
pass.
beyond this.
Absolutely.
Absolutely.
Well,
I
go ahead, Blake.
I was just going to say, I think that's one of the most important things that we like to preach a lot is that, when you're going into these places, I mean, yeah, treat it with reverence and respect because
Mhm.
you're
Mhm.
really just talking to people who no longer have a physical
Mhm.
body for you to be able to see and interact with.
Absolutely.
If we can take that level, like you just said, Nick, of being scared away from that and help you be more comfortable with it, then just as you said, we've done our job. So I think that's an important point that you just touched on.
Mhm.
Absolutely, absolutely. Mhm.
Do you think that the reason people are scared of the paranormal, like you were saying, the people who don't believe are scared of it, do you think they're scared of the actual entities, or do you think it makes them face their own mortality, so therefore they don't want to believe in it?
I think a lot
Hmm.
of people get scared because of Hollywood, honestly,
Hmm.
Hmm.
because of everything
Oh.
that you do see in Hollywood, and it's like put for example, a lot of people are very terrified to do the Ouija board.
Hmm.
Here's
Yeah,
the
I'm
thing
not
with the
doing that.
well, right. Well, I mean, I have a big planchette right there. Come on.
Yeah, that can stay
Um,
at your house.
but here's the thing about the Ouija board that a lot of people don't understand is REM pod, Melmeter, digital voice recorder. You're communicating with something that you have no clue. It's the same with a Ouija board. You have no clue what you're communicating with. So it's still technically a paranormal tool. And I think a lot of people get scared because of Hollywood. All of a sudden a
Hmm.
hand's going to come through the Ouija board and grab you and you're possessed now and all that kind of stuff. And obviously that's not
Is
true.
is that how that happens?
That is how it
I
happens.
never knew that's how that happened. Okay, got it.
Well,
And,
now,
it, and
now,
it,
now,
it
Nick, I'm gonna tell you that is not the case with me because I do not watch scary movies. I've seen two scary movies in my entire life, and I did not watch The Exorcist until I was 4 weeks, 8 weeks ago. Was the first time I ever watched the movie The Exorcist. But I have talked to Darren Evans, and
Mhm.
he scared me enough talking to him about that Ouija board that if I was ever not going to use it, I definitely would not going to use it now.
But here's the thing though too is you need to but I'm not saying like you, but I'm saying like other people who are scared to use the Ouija board is you still have to use it correctly. Just
Yeah.
like
Hmm.
any
Mhm.
other piece of paranormal equipment.
Hmm.
A REM pod. You can't be like, I command you to no, no, no. Like you want to be as respectful as possible. Like anytime something does happen, or even if it doesn't happen with our team, we say, thank you very much if you did try to communicate with us. We still acknowledge that they um, tried to show us some piece of evidence,
Hmm.
you know. And like I said, even if something does not happen, it doesn't happen. It takes a lot of energy for a spirit just to do something or manifest or anything like that. But you always want to show the utmost respect
Hmm.
going into any type of haunted location or anything
Agreed.
like
But I'm
that.
gonna tell you right now, I can't remember or figure out how to hit record and stop recording on my phone. I'm damn sure not gonna dick around with the Ouija board and go, did I turn it off? How do you turn it off? I wouldn't. I trust me. It's just better if I don't.
That's
But
why.
it's
That's why
okay.
she has us.
Yeah, that's where I have them. That's right. That's why they're
There
Mhm.
you
here.
go.
So I'm like, how do I do
Yeah.
this?
So
Press the big button that says record.
yeah,
And you know
right.
what? And I still couldn't do that the other night. I'm like, it won't work. And they're like, here. I go, oh, that's how you do
Yeah,
it.
yeah. So, Nick, a question for you though, because
Yeah.
I'm interested in what you just said earlier about with the dual Estes.
Mhm.
Because that's something that we actually do as well at different locations. But you were talking about trying to get them to jump back and forth between different locations. Did I
Mhm.
understand that correct? So, what
Yes.
is y'all's process with that?
So pretty much what happens is, we have Greg go under the Estes, and then we have a lot of times he'll bring in like somebody else from a different paranormal team or somebody on our team from a different location. And they just use the basic SB7 spirit box. They put the headphones on. Greg has a cover
Hmm.
for his eyes that says
The
good night,
blindfold. Hmm.
which is it's kind of funny.
Nice.
And they just go back and forth. But what we notice though is a lot of times the spirits will start communicating with each other, and we'll
Hmm.
start
Mhm.
noticing that what one person is saying is correlating to what another person is saying. Now, it's funny though, because me personally, I still don't know how the Estes method works. I don't know 100% how if I believe in it, but every time I've done the Estes method, I have turned into a different person.
Hmm.
I start laughing. I have cried before. I've even spoke perfect Spanish. I don't
Interesting.
understand how. And the thing is, I think because I get so in tuned with it, because my body, it's like my brain just shuts off a little bit, and then whatever the spirit's telling me to do, I'll do it. But then me personally, I don't know if I believe that still.
Now, let me tell you guys what he's not saying is they do this live on the air, correct?
Yes, we do
Oh
this.
wow.
They do it live on the air on
Well-
Metaphysical Crossing, correct, Nick?
Yep. Yeah, that's
Yes.
metaphysical.
That's the one I've seen because I was like, how in the world are they doing this? I'm like, I say too many bad words.
Well,
Well,
they've sworn before too, and we warn people.
Mhm.
Yeah.
It happened.
We say we are not responsible for what
Yep,
the
right.
spirits say. That's our disclaimer. But you know how it happens that you speak perfect Spanish. It's the hand out of the Ouija board. It just came up and
Yeah,
you know.
just
I know
grab it.
I'm coming. You know,
That's all it was. It just
Uh,
came up and unfortunately you got somebody who spoke Spanish. That's what
well, what had happened is, just like Paranormal Activity, I got dragged down the stairs. And all this me, like, what's going on?
Now you laugh, but we've actually had somebody
We've
that
had
happened
that
to somebody
happen.
on an investigation to be drugged down
wow.
the stairs.
Yeah.
Yeah.
See that
And-
you still have to be careful of because they can push you.
Oh,
They
yeah,
can push
yeah.
you. I mean, I don't know if it's the spirits or if it's just me being clumsy, but I have fallen up the stairs so many times it's not even funny on Investigate. And people look at me like, "What the hell is wrong with you?"
If that was Shelley saying that, I'd probably say it was just clumsy. But
It's clumsy. I trip, fall, I drop everything. They were trying to give me a camera to use the other day, and I'm like, "Give me your crappiest one," because and what happened? It was sitting on a chair and suddenly it goes thunk, but it was sitting on that chair for a long time. All of a sudden it goes thunk on the floor. I go, I didn't touch that camera. I didn't drop it. Yeah, just all of a sudden kind of got knocked to the floor. So we were like, okay, I don't know what's going on here. But yeah, it's
Mhm.
clumsy. But I agree with you. I think they absolutely can affect you. I think they
Mhm.
absolutely can. Yeah,
So-
they can get you.
So when you go under for the doing the Estes method for the show, how long are you guys under doing that?
Usually they do. So they do the Estes. I'm kind of behind the scenes, kind of like your producer is.
Mhm.
And I just kind of keep track of the people's comments and all that because we've had a lot of negative comments before, like you guys are assholes, blah blah blah. We're like, whoa, okay, get rid of them.
yeah.
It's like, why are
but-
you being mean?
But usually they do it for about 25 minutes each, and then after
Ooh.
that they do a big discussion at the after. So how it'll work is we have one person who's under Estes, another person who's writing everything down, the other person who's under Estes, and then we have somebody else who's writing down for only that person. So whatever your person says, you just write down, you jot it down, and everything. And I believe Greg and the whole team, they still have a list from about 6 months ago, 7 months ago. And it's funny too because something you said about 7 months ago will now correlate to what was just said 2 minutes ago, type of thing. We've really been noticing that it's been going back and forth and everything. But yeah, it's usually the sessions last about 25 minutes. We won't let anybody go any longer just because sometimes you can feel nauseous, dizzy.
Oh, yeah.
We don't
Yep.
need that.
Been there.
See,
Been
and
there.
we kind of have a hardcore core rule of out at 15. We
Mhm.
might go a minute or two longer if we're really getting good evidence. But do you not feel that opens you up too much? We call it getting jumped instead of being possessed. Possessed does seems to last a lot longer, but getting jumped where you literally don't have control over what's going on in your body, your thoughts, anything like that. Do you see? To me, 25 sounds like a really long time because we have seen someone literally get jumped in less than 33 seconds.
Oh yeah, I mean I always tell Greg, but he's the ITC guy, so
Okay.
he knows what to do. So I was like, all right, that's fine. If you want to do 25 minutes, go for it. But And like I always tell people too, and I still tell people on my team, I'm not responsible for anything that happens to you. Like that is.
Do you guys pull each other, or does somebody watch the time and pull people out, or do you have like if they start not to look right or not to behave correctly, does someone pull the plug on the Estes? Okay, good.
So we have everybody has to have their phone in their pocket. It's on vibrate, of course, and then I will call everybody, and their phone will start vibrating. As soon as it starts vibrating, they stop and they get out of it.
Okay.
We've had intense sessions to where in my studio, I'll have different paranormal equipment set up. The equipment goes off while they're correlating with stuff too, and that's the thing too, and that's why we do this show, is because that shows possibly whatever is at their location is now at my location, and whatever goes from my location goes to somebody else's location. That reminds me, we used to do another show called. Have you guys ever heard of the Devil's Toy Box?
Oh yes.
Oh yeah,
absolutely.
We did a live show called the Devil's Toy Box, and what we would do is we may actually start it up again, but we put the webcam inside of the box
Oh,
for the live viewers.
Yeah.
Yep, because we have like one of those huge boxes made. It's got the 6 mirrors and everything. People heard their name called. People were hearing whispering. People were seeing shadow figures out of the corner of their eye. Like people were freaking out. We were getting all these views and stuff like that. But then it got to the point where I started getting sick. I would get nosebleeds, feel like I'm going to vomit, all this kind of stuff. So I was like, I got to take a break with this.
Wow.
But we may restart the show again. But that just shows that whatever is communicating with you can hop through the internet, I guess you could say.
So explain just a little bit, very brief description for anybody who may be watching that doesn't know what the Devil's Toy Box is. What your definition of it is.
Yeah, so the Devil's Toy Box, it's a instrument using for the paranormal that can kind of enhance paranormal activity a little bit. For those that don't know, it's got 4 mirrors on the side, and then it's got a mirror on top and a mirror on the bottom. And the whole, I guess you could say, synopsis of it is a ghost or spirit can technically get trapped in there because mirrors in the paranormal world are technically considered portals. So what do you do when you get all these mirrors together? It creates an infinite portal. Just keep going and going and going.
Like an infinity loop. It can't find its way out.
Exactly. And what happens is the spirits, they do kind of get pissed off a little bit. Like, hey, what the hell's going on? But
I would too. Let me out.
But we don't. There's Carly Bird. She's actually one of the ones who does the Estes method and with Greg Koss and stuff. But like with the Devil's Toy Box, like we don't do it to piss the spirits off. That's not our intention. Right. Our intention is just to see what would happen.
It's an experiment. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Go ahead, Ryan.
I say, what is the most intense experience that you've had with the Devil's Toy Box?
With the Devil's Toy Box, we have had. Hi, Sharon. This is AKA Betty White down there, Sharon. We love you, Sharon. Probably with the Estes Toy Box, we have had. We were doing a promo because where I live is behind my house is actually a Native American burial ground. It's all wooded. It's a wooded area and everything.
Mm-hmm.
And we were doing a promo back there with the Devil's Toy Box, and we come back and the top is completely broken in, smashed. There was no acorn by it. There was no nothing by it. It just broke. That was it. We're like,
whoa,
what the hell just happened? So we had to paint a new glass on top. We had and all around the box that we have, it has crystals all around it. So, we're still protected and all that kind of stuff. But probably after that would be hearing my name called out of the box when there's nothing in there. It was just Nick. And I was like, shit, like this thing is in my house now. Like,
no, thank you.
Oh shit.
It's like, you're going in the garage.
Well, actually, it's funny that you say that, Ryan, because that's where it's kept. It's kept in the garage.
That's a big old hell no.
Yep. But yeah, I mean, it's definitely great, and we always have different paranormal teams that we like on the show. I would love to have you guys on. I think it would be interesting to have all three of you guys inside of the box and kind of see what you guys see and stuff like that.
Shelly's like, wait a minute, hold on, one second.
Nah, hell, I'm game.
Now you know what's gonna happen though. We're gonna go in there and then like I'm just gonna make sure like somehow Shelly can hear me and just be like, Shelly.
Yep.
Shelly.
Shelly's eyes are gonna turn black and all that.
Yeah,
Exactly.
and I'll turn black and I'll be like, who do you want to talk to?
And then all of a sudden here comes that hand again, you know. It's just
Yeah, Say, Blake, Shelly speaking backwards Latin. I don't know what's happening.
Yeah, right?
Time to pull her. Time to pull her. Yeah, we
Or-
No,
can work
she's just reading the list of her prescriptions. It's all good. Keep going. No, I think I just find it interesting, like things like that, hearing about different experiments that different teams do with your dual Estes, the way that y'all run that. I think that's absolutely fascinating. We do the dual Estes as well. We just recently started splitting the participants up.
Okay.
And so we have actually found that very fascinating in how they jump. Usually there's a floor in between them.
Right.
And that way we don't do separate locations just yet. We haven't gotten that far, but yeah, we got a one night where they were just conversation back and forth upstairs, downstairs all night long. It was very fascinating. So that's why I'd ask my question, because it's like, wait a minute, you do separate locations? Like that's kind of badass.
Yeah, no, we didn't think it would work. Like it was just an experiment, just to try and kind of see what happens and everything. And to our surprise, we were like, oh, stuff's kind of correlating here. And it's kind of along the lines of, have you guys ever seen that movie, Men Who Stare at Goats?
Yeah.
It's kind of along the lines of that, where people can do. Now I'm going to forget completely what it's called.
Astral projection?
Not astral projection, but it's kind of like you can see it's. So you're not.
Oh,
it's not
remote
that you're
viewing.
Remote
psychic.
viewing. Yeah.
Remote
Yeah,
viewing.
thank you. Remote
Yeah.
viewing.
Okay.
It's kind of to that aspect a little bit of remote viewing. Kind of see if that happens. And like me, ever since I was younger, I've always been interested in that kind of stuff. Psychic, remote viewing, seeing the future, flying, all this kind of stuff. Like there's people out there like that can actually levitate. That like especially in Tibet, with a lot of the stuff that they do in their cultures, and how they do a lot of, whether they do yoga or they just concentrate really well, they can make that happen. And it's like, how does that happen? That's where I come in. Like, well, wait, how is that possible? But then at the same time, I'm intrigued. I was like, well, why can't I do that? Like, no,
Well, there is a certain amount of junk that is in our DNA. That's literally junk DNA. That that there is no real need for it, but for whatever reason is there. Could that be something that's perhaps just turned off for now, and they've actually figured out how to turn that on? Because all human beings have a certain amount of junk DNA.
Oh yeah, I mean that's possible. It's like they say, I mean, I don't know if this is true or not, but they're like, oh yeah, you only use like 10% of your brain.
Right.
Well, if that's true, well, what are we doing with the other 90%? Like, can we actually do stuff that people say we can't? Like, here's my thing. It's like, for example, Superman, the comic book, and movies and all that. How did you think of that? How is it that one person thought of that? Oh, Superman's got laser vision, or Superman, and great strength and faster than a speeding bullet. How did one person think of that? Unless that has happened somewhere before.
They were visited by aliens.
Oh, now aliens? I don't believe them. I'm sorry.
I'm sorry.
I don't.
That's his line, Shelly. You know how we can get somebody to something.
Okay. So now, Nick, hang on. I'm gonna call you on this now. Okay. So why not? Because you see, we've had this discussion on our show before that there's a line that is in everybody's brain. Like I can believe there are aliens, but I can't believe there are lizard people. Why not? I can believe there are ghosts, but I can't believe that there are demons. Why not?
Here's
everybody
the thing.
has that line in their brain that they are not willing to cross, which to me, if you believe in one, you should kind of believe in all because you're believing in the
Right.
possibility. So why
Well,
not
yeah,
this
and
possibility?
I'm sure there's a possibility that aliens are because to me, I really don't think we're the only one in the galaxy on Earth.
Mhm.
I don't think so. But here's the thing, though, too, is I have never experienced it. I have never seen it.
Mhm.
Mm.
That is the only reason. So that's where it comes back to me with Ghost. I'd never believed in ghosts. I thought ghosts were the stupidest thing in the world, and then I had my paranormal experience. And
Shadowhunter
after,
Paranormal Investigations and Events, folks. Go
yes,
ahead.
but after I've had that experience, everything changed.
Yeah.
If I did not have that experience, I would not be on the show right now.
Okay.
I think, sorry, I think a lot of people share your sentiment with that. Honestly, from a lot of people that I've talked to, and we have asked that question for or two, is what am I trying to say? I don't really want to say tangible or tactile because we were talking about spirits and ghosts and all that kind of stuff. But along that lines, until they have that experience, that moment, that physical reaction within themselves of seeing something that they can't or hearing something they can't explain, then all of a sudden they're like, oh shit. And a lot of people, whenever we talk about ghosts and aliens, and that's the answer that they give. So I always find that fascinating. And we do talk about that line, It's like for me, I don't believe in lizard people, I mean, but I believe there's aliens. But
And I mean, it could be. It if I had an experience where I saw an alien, that would change everything right there.
yeah,
Mhm.
And like Carly just said, she's like, well, what about Bigfoot? Maybe he's an alien. A lot of people actually think that Bigfoot is an alien.
oh
That he
shit,
just
don't get Ryan started.
now
So-
I don't know. My thing is, why are people so fascinated with Bigfoot? And the only reason I say that is because it's a gorilla. Like,
Mhm.
you want a
No,
gorilla?
it's not, Nick.
You want a gorilla? You go to the zoo. I mean that's where my thing comes from. But at the same time, why are all these people seeing? This is where my brain kicks in. Like, well, wait a minute. Why are all these people starting to see Bigfoot now in
Mhm.
random forests? Because apparently, according to Bigfoot experts, Bigfoot's home is in Wisconsin. Like, who the hell's gonna go to Wisconsin? Like that's what I mean. Like, that's what I
best
don't
answer.
understand.
Best answer to that right there, Nick. Who the hell's gonna go to Wisconsin? Yeah.
But what's nice though is it's funny because me personally, I really like Wisconsin just because Wisconsin has a lot of Native American culture there. I myself am Native American, so I have that culture, and every time I go to Wisconsin, I kind of feel calmer. I feel at peace and stuff like that.
Mhm.
Connected.
And I think it's right, like I'm connected to that. So anytime Carly's like, I'm hurt by that comment. But anytime people say, Wisconsin and stuff like that, it's just like, out of all places, why are you going to go to Wisconsin? Like, why aren't you in California? Why aren't you in Hawaii?
Too much hair, they'd sweat.
Well, I mean, that's true. And like I said, though, like, I'm not knocking any states or anything like that. Like I said, I love Wisconsin, but
Right.
when you think about stuff like that, it's like, why that place type of thing.
True. So the question I was going to ask you is kind of be a two-pronged question. First is, when you say you don't believe in aliens, do you mean you don't believe in aliens in like a classical sense, like they came from space, or do you think they came from somewhere else?
I get to get out my popcorn for this one. Go ahead.
And then-
Oh man, we went on the wrong topic here. Sorry, go ahead.
The second question is I would be interested to know what your experience was that changed your mind about ghosts as well.
Oh, absolutely. So for the first part, now are you talking about like E.T.?
I mean, just
The
like
movie E.T.?
no. Like, I mean, like what people describe, like if somebody people have these encounters with these beings that claim they're from space, could they be from somewhere else? Like, do you think that when you say you don't believe in aliens, you don't believe they came from space, maybe, or you just don't believe in any of the entities that people say they've encountered?
I would mostly say space.
Okay.
And the reason I say that is because, again, it goes back to I've never witnessed it.
Mm-hmm.
If I were to witness this, that'd be a completely different story. Like the story I'll tell you about ghosts and
Usually,
everything.
witnessing it involves being abducted and things being probed. Are you sure you want that?
No, I'm. Oh God, no. But I'm saying, like, and people have talked about this before, and I've thought about it. Is like, what if just like we're all talking right now? How do I know one of you guys are not an alien from a different planet?
Shit.
See, there goes Shelley. Like, I was right. But a lot of people do feel that certain people that you talk to and stuff like that, they could be from a different planet.
Mhm.
Which, okay, but then at the same time, my brain kicks in again. Like, do you not hear yourself? Like,
Mhm.
you're talking weird here. But then again, I'm a ghost hunter, and like some of the shit that I've seen, I was like, well, wait a minute now. Like,
You're
it,
right in your brain.
anything can happen. Um, and then Doug just put ooh probed kinky.
Hey, you got to pay extra for that a lot of places.
But Ryan, to go back to your second part of the question,
He's
with
not even
ghosts,
touching that one.
nope, stand away from that one. Um, our good friend, she was dating my cousin a long time ago. Her name was Jackie Stanislawski, and unfortunately, they had broken apart. But she was still really close to the family and everything. About 4 weeks before, about 3 weeks before Christmas, I'm sorry, she had gotten a horrible head-on collision,
Hmm.
and she ended up passing away from the car accident and everything. And we were very upset. I was very upset because this was a death that was very, very close to me. You know, I've had grandparents die and stuff like that, but this was different. And my experience happened in July. I was sitting in my room and watching TV, and I had my window open. It was about 90 degrees outside. I still remember it like it was yesterday. And it got so cold in my room that I can almost see my breath. And I was like, what is
Wow.
this? Like, hold on a minute. And then all of a sudden, all these thoughts of Jackie were going through my head of stuff we used to do, say, and then Jackie had a very distinct scent about her. That scent came in the room, and then I felt the classic hand on my shoulder. While all this was going on,
Whoa.
I wasn't paralyzed, but I was the calmest I have ever been. I was just in a great state. Everything was good. And then 15 seconds later, that's it. Everything was gone. It went back to being super hot in my room again. And then it's like the TV, all of a sudden I focused my attention on the TV again and all that. And ever since that day, I was like, that was a ghost. Like I had to find out exactly what that was. And I think when it happened was Jackie kind of put me on the right path towards something. Because who knows what my other path would have been. I've had mediums tell me, and I know Shelley, a lot of times, you really don't agree with like mediums and stuff like that, but they told me, they're like, Nick, the path you would have chosen wasn't very good. So who knows what path I would have taken. So I'm glad that Jackie put me on this path because I've had so many good opportunities, with the paranormal. I've met so many fascinating people, and never in my life did I think that I would be on a TV show, doing this kind of stuff. And we even got to do for Fright Fest at Six Flags. They do Fright Fest every year. They called us and we did a show for them for Fright Fest. Like, we got to investigate the park, which was the coolest thing ever.
That's awesome.
Nobody there. We got to investigate it from like 8 to 2 a.m. And they asked me, they're like, well, what are you going to do for the show? What do you plan on doing? And I was just like, can we investigate the park? What's going to happen? Worst you could say is no. He's like, oh yeah, it was the entertainment director. He's like, just if I'm with you, that's fine. I was like, oh shit. Like, we just have this whole theme park to ourselves, and Six Flags is haunted. That's all I will say. We had a lot of stuff that did happen there. And we got to show proof to the audience what happened. I've never heard so many people say, I'm never coming back to this park. And I was like, oh, we just lost Six Flags some money here. But a lot of people did have a good time and everything. And like I said, it goes back to so many opportunities with stuff like that. And, that's kind of why we do the Spirits in the Spring event and stuff.
Do you want to go ahead and tell them about the Spirits of the
Yeah.
Spring, since you've kind of told the story about kind of Jackie is the person that you have kind of based this Paracon that you do
Mhm.
around. So tell us a little bit about this Paracon that you have coming up on April the 22nd.
Yeah, absolutely. So with Spirits in the Spring, Jackie's dad is a professional magician. He does like really great work and everything. He used to do something for his daughter called Jackie's Magic. And the reason he did Jackie's Magic was because um, before she did, or when she passed away, her parents opened up her car and saw she was doing her own private food drive for Lake County, Illinois. So
Hmm.
she had all this
Wow.
food that she was going to donate and everything. So, in order to get into Jackie's Magic, you would have to bring food donations in. And when you brought a food donation in, you got a ticket to a 3-hour performance by different magicians and all this. It was the coolest thing. I loved it. And we even got to go there once. They gave us a free booth and everything, and we got to kind of explain our story about Jackie and everything. And when Jim, Jackie's dad, kind of stopped Jackie's Magic because it was just getting too much, I had an idea. I was like, well, Jackie gave me my first paranormal experience, and we still want to do this, get food in for food pantries and stuff. Why not mix the paranormal with magicians?
I love
And
this idea.
we we did it the first year. The first year wasn't so successful, but it was new and everything. And every year we got bigger and better and all that kind of stuff. And now it's going to be held at Broadhead Manor. We now have 15. When we first started, we only had 5 speakers and we had 5 vendors. Now we're at over 40 vendors and we have over 15 speakers that are going to be there.
Wow,
We
that is
have people
awesome.
such,
Great.
Awesome.
we have people such as Patty Negri is coming, Natalie
Oh,
Jones
no
from
way.
PARAflixx is coming. Um, we're having Nick Simons and Aaron G. Thompson from 28 Days Haunted from Netflix. They're coming, and all these paranormal teams and everything like that. So it's grown to this big event now. Um, One word of advice: don't ever plan a huge Paracon like this because I have
Poor
been so
Nick.
stressed out lately. Um, but
He
but
was
I
he was telling me on the phone that he was like, I'm super stressed out about this, and I'm like, it'll be fine. You'll be
and
great. Don't worry about it.
Yeah.
and I know it's going to be good and everything, but it's just you want everything to go correctly and all that kind of
Yeah.
stuff. And for the first time, we are charging people. It's going to be $10 to get in plus food donations. If you don't bring food donations, it'll be $20 to get in. But half of that money also goes right to the food pantries,
Mhm.
plus all that food. So we're doing Warren Township in Gurnee, Illinois, Lake County, Illinois, for half of the donations, and then there's a place in Wisconsin right by Broadhead Manor that we're also going to be donating the food and everything. And what's nice too is all the speakers we got, they're all donating their time.
Is that not the awesomest thing ever,
That
you
is so
guys?
cool.
So
Everybody is
cool.
donating their
Mhm.
time. We did charge the vendors. The vendors, it was $50 for a spot.
Which
But
is not outrageous.
what was nice though is that $50 from the vendors that paid for the venue at Broadhead Manor.
Perfect.
Nice.
And Broadhead Manor, you guys definitely need to make a trip there because that is one of the most haunted places besides Indiana State that we have ever been to.
Is that an
It
invitation? Because don't invite me because I hold you. I hold anybody who offers me things to in
You
on the
guys,
podcast.
let me know when you guys want to go, and we will go to Broadhead Manor.
All
Now,
right.
I want to tell you guys something that Nick has not mentioned this yet. You should see this itinerary of things that are going to go on
Oh
April the
yes.
22nd.
no, yeah.
There are things. Not only are there magic shows going on,
Mhm.
there are things like is it Survived Michael Myers is one of
Yes.
them.
So
And oh my
here's
gosh,
the
this
thing.
sounds
Like
fantastic.
we love to have fun at events and stuff like that. And I've been to paranormal cons, conventions and stuff like that, and they're all great. They're a lot of fun, but I've noticed that after certain speakers, people are like, "Okay, I'm going to go home now" and all that. Our plan is to keep people there for 8 straight hours without leaving. and we have something planned every time after a speaker goes. So, for example, like Shelley was just saying, we do have something called Battle Michael Myers.
Battle, thank you. Battle Michael
Battle
Myers.
And
Love
and it's because I'm a huge Halloween fan. I love
Mhm.
Halloween. I loved Halloween Ends. Everybody hated that movie for some reason, but I won't get into that. That'll be a fight and a half. And so with Halloween, um, our thought is somebody will be dressed up as Michael Myers, which is probably going to be me. And there's a lot of places in Broadhead Manor that you can hide. And the whole point
Oh,
is
shit.
Oh, dude.
people can walk past these places too. If they scream when they see Michael Myers, they lose. If they don't scream when they see Michael Myers, they will win a prize. So we have that going. Have any of you guys seen that new movie Megan?
No,
No.
not yet.
I want
I'm
to.
Not
scared
yet.
of dolls. Not gonna happen.
So I'm scared of dolls too, Shelley. I hate dolls with a passion. And there's Nick Simons right now.
Uh-huh. Mhm.
I hate dolls with a passion. I can't do it. But we have this whole thing set up. We have somebody who looks 100% like the girl Megan, and we have the outfit
Oh,
too.
dude.
And what's going to happen is she'll be on stage in a box, and on the box, I have to unwrap this box, and the box says, "To Nick from Megan." And what's going to happen is when Megan starts doing her dance and all that, she's going to kick down the box and chase me all throughout
Shit.
Broadhead Manor by a doll. So we have that going. We have something called Mardi Gras bead throw, where we're going to be throwing about 10,000 beads into the audience, so people can at least bring home something. I mean,
Yeah.
you don't have to really flash people to get beads. It's not Mardi Gras. And
There'll
then
be
we
somebody
do.
who won't understand the rules, Nick.
Yeah, there's gonna be that one person. It's like no.
And then we do, yeah, right. And then we do have something called the world's largest paranormal conga line. And what's going to happen is so our thought process with that is we're going to try to get that to go to other Paracons and have them challenge other people and be like, can you extend the line? Can you extend it? Can you keep going?
How fun.
Very
And the-
nice.
So cool.
And the conga line is actually going to be led by Patty Negri. She's going to be walking.
Very nice.
We're going to have Gloria Stefan conga. That's going to be
Of
playing in the
course.
background
Yeah.
and all that kind of stuff. And there's one more thing I think I have on there. What else? I'm thinking a bit.
This Paracon is so interactive, you guys.
Yeah,
Just
and
with the
that's
list
the
of things
thing,
that he has
it's-
going on.
Yeah.
we want it to be as interactive as possible because we want everybody to have a good time. Oh, that's the other thing. We have something called the 90s challenge, and we're going to pick 4 people, put them on stage, and see if they still remember how to do the Macarena. And we're going to be playing it fast, slow for them, and kind of see what they can do. And
I think I could get that. I think
Yeah.
I think I could win.
I think I could win
And-
that one.
I think you guys should definitely come out to the Paracon.
Don't threaten me with a good time.
No
Nick. I'll
shit.
show up.
What?
Yeah.
Tell us the date one more time.
Yeah, it's April 22nd from 10 a.m. till 6 p.m. And excuse me. After that, we are going to have a ghost hunt for everybody that purchases tickets. Unfortunately, we can only have about 20 people just because you don't want to get contaminated or anything
Right.
like that.
Hmm.
It'll be $30 a ticket, but we will be selling the tickets at the event only. This is the first year we're not doing anything online. Every time we
okay.
do something online, we get people who are like, "Oh, I have tickets," when they really don't. And then we have people
Mm.
coming to the event. "Oh, I purchased these tickets. Those are fake tickets. I'm sorry, I don't know what to tell you." Like,
Mhm.
Right.
so we're just gonna make everything easy and just
Day
do
of
everything at the
purchase.
door.
First come, first serve.
Right.
Man, this sounds like a blast and a half. That's
Does
going to
this
be
not
such
sound
a
like
good time.
fun?
I'm
I
I'm
was-
so excited to
Spirits in
throw
the
it.
spring.
I want to throw up from planning it and everything, but
I can
I'm
imagine.
excited for it, and it's definitely going to be a good time. And we have this thing that we do every year. It's called the video board, and what the video board does is it's a countdown to the show. So you have a 30-minute countdown that plays different kind of music, and it's got a timer on there. So we're gonna set that timer up with the speakers too, so people can look at that board and be like, "Oh, I have 10 minutes until Ursula Bielski goes on. I can go out and do something." So it kind of gives the audience something to do too,
Yeah.
Mhm.
so they know when to come back and watch. Because my thing is, by all of our speakers helping us, I want them to have all the audience's full attention. I
Yeah.
want the audience to pay attention to them because they're volunteering their time. They're
Right.
they're helping us out immensely.
I love that.
But
And the fact that it's so jam packed. And guys, he didn't even mention there's a magic show in there too.
There is a
There's a
magic
magic
show. We
show.
do have Jackie's dad will be doing. He always, I don't know how he does this, but he always does something with some kind of paranormal in his magic skit.
Love
It's
that.
hilarious. It's great. We were gonna have somebody by the name of Joe Diamond. He's a professional mind reader, and the way he does stuff is just incredible. But unfortunately, he was not able to make it.
Oh,
But Jim he's hilarious. He's funny. He really interacts with the audience and stuff like that. And like if you do, and my favorite thing with Jim is like when he does something that's like super easy for you to do to help him out, and you can't do it, he just looks at you like, really,
really?
really. And it's like the easiest task to
Yeah.
do, but it's like because you're
Yeah.
on stage.
Yeah,
you're
in
doing-
his head, he's going, I chose poorly. Okay. I got the person next to him, but I chose poorly.
But he's a great guy, and he really appreciates everything that we kind of do for in memory of Jackie. And that's the other thing we're doing this year is at 6 o'clock when the conference ends. We are doing a memorial wall for anybody
Mm.
that we had lost in years past and everything, so they can still be included in Spirits in the Spring too.
Well, whenever Shelly had told us that she was talking to you about coming on, and she was kind of explaining, what we were going to talk about, and she went a little bit after y'all's first conversation. She went a little bit more in depth when she had learned some more. And I just have to tell you, just like from the bottom of my heart, I'm appreciative of what you're doing. I'm a huge charity
you.
person. I think it's absolutely fantastic that you've been able to combine charity and the paranormal with a little magic thrown into. Sounds freaking fantastic.
Thank
what
you.
y'all doing. So
It's something new that's
Yeah.
never been done before.
Yeah.
I mean, with like other paracons and stuff like that. Other paracons they do charity work too. They'll have like a donation box.
Yeah.
And stuff like that. And we're actually going to be helping out Lost Limbs Foundation too with Mike Couch. We're going to have a jar set up as soon as people come in, and they can donate because this is Mike Couch's last year doing anything with that because of his health problems and stuff.
Mhm.
So we figure we might as well help, and any of that money goes directly towards Lost Limbs. And it's like with us when we do. Hey, Greg. So Greg, he's the one who does everything with the SS method and stuff.
What's up, Greg?
Hey, what's up, man?
But anytime we do an event, Shadow Hunters, our team, we don't get money for this. We don't make money for this. It's just we feel that it's not right in the paranormal community to take money, even though people are like, "Why not? You could take a little bit of money." And I was like, "We can," but then at the same time, me personally, I feel bad, just because if we're there to help people, and to me, people should be helped. Like I love helping people and all that. Like, why am I going to charge for my services?
As
It
well,
just-
We do the same
we're
thing,
the
yeah.
same way. We always
Yeah.
tell everybody, I mean, if you reach out to somebody in the paranormal field because you are having issues
Mhm.
in like your home or your business
Right.
or something like that,
Right.
and they go, "Oh yeah, it's going to be like $600 for me to come out," and do it."
Yeah.
Hell no, run the other way and go find somebody else. Anybody worth their
Yeah.
weight in the paranormal world is not going to charge to come help.
Yeah, because
Because
God
they
knows.
can't, they can't guarantee your results. They should
Right.
be
Exactly.
charging you for
Yeah,
it.
how many
Exactly.
times have we gotten the email? How much do you guys charge? And we're like,
Oh
nothing.
gosh,
Nothing.
Yeah.
And Shelly, you brought up a good point. And I mean, a lot of people may get mad, but there's no experts in this field. Like,
That's right.
I'm not an expert to be like, yes, this is what's going to happen. You need to move out of your house, and you need to. We heard of other paranormal teams doing that. We're like, you got to be kidding me! Like, what are you doing?
Well,
Yeah,
you can't
and-
you can't be You can't be an expert in the unknown. Nobody
Yeah.
can.
Yeah, no,
You
nobody
know, I
can.
mean,
You can't.
it's just impossible.
Mm-mm.
Hmm.
Well,
Nick,
I absolutely love the fact that you do that for charity. And again, anytime you want to come on and promote a charity events you're doing, absolutely shoot it to us. We'll help you promote it. We'll, because that is something, again, we take that pretty seriously. We
Oh,
we
yeah.
all contribute in our own ways to different
Mhm.
charitable foundations and things like that. And so that was one of the selling points of these guys. I'm like, guys, it's all for charity. And I'm gonna tell you right now, people, you cannot get a $10 Paracon or $20 Paracon ticket anywhere else.
No, you
And
cannot.
that's the thing too, is we wanted to keep the price low because of, obviously, with the economy going on right now and everything's going up. Well, my thing is, I think people should still have a little bit of fun in their life
Mhm.
Mm-hmm.
at a cheap cost, but still have a great time.
Mm-hmm.
And it's the same as, when we first started Spirits in the Spring. Like, it was always free to get in, plus food, free and food. Now, yeah, we're charging $10,
Uh-huh.
but you're still getting vendors,
Mm-hmm.
speakers. You get a ghost hunt for $30. Like, that's
Mm-hmm.
really not even heard of. Like, $30
No.
for a ghost hunt. Shit,
When will your
sign me
ghost
up.
hunt run? May I ask? What
The
time is
ghost
your
hunt is
ghost?
going to go from, I believe, Bill and I set it up. It's either from 8 to midnight or 9 to midnight. It's one of the.
Okay, so that's if it's 8 to midnight, that's 4 hours, and then 10 to 6 dates. So that's 12 hours of entertainment for $40 and two canned goods, or four
Mhm.
canned goods, or eight or however
Right.
many,
Yeah.
however many canned goods you want to bring.
Right.
But you bring a canned good items,
Mhm.
and your $10 you get in. For $30 you get the
Right.
ghost
To go on the
hunt
ghost
at the end
hunt.
of the night, and you get 12 hours worth of activity for $40 and a couple of canned
Mm-hmm.
goods.
Yeah. And
Get
then
out there.
and then like Bill from Broadhead Manor, because he's on Broadhead Manor, is on right
Mhm.
now. Definitely, for all the viewers watching, if you guys have not gone to Broadhead Manor and liked their page, please like their page. They do a fantastic job. I love Broadhead Manor. It's probably
I
my
would.
favorite place.
I was just about to say, tell the viewers that are watching, ours that may not know, tell them a little bit about the location. Like,
Yeah. So
It's
with
in Wisconsin.
yes, it is in Wisconsin. Um,
I just want him to say it
I
again.
kind of always have to do like oh, hey there, I'm from Wisconsin.
Hey there, ho there,
Um,
hey there.
but then I get yelled at, like, we don't talk like that. I was like, okay, you keep telling yourself that, and it's okay.
Did they put the "Don't you know" on the back
Yeah,
of it?
right. Nick's like, barely. Nah, okay, we'll see there, Nick. But Broadhead Manor, it is in Wisconsin. It used to be a school. Um, and my thing is, I think the reason Broadhead Manor has a lot of activity to it is because I believe that land has a lot to do with the Native Americans.
Hmm.
So it kind of went into the school
Mhm.
and stuff like that. And there's a lot of kid residual energy inside of that building too. Um, so when I was looking for places to have spirits in the spring, I was like, how about at an actual haunted location? And, I talked to Bill and everything, um, and everything went great. So yeah, it's gonna be at a haunted school. Um, you can do investigations at Broadhead Manor too. It is also a haunted house, and that's why they do call it Broadhead Manor. It was a haunted house first, and then Bill started letting paranormal investigators inside, and
Thank you, Bill.
they didn't
Yeah.
really realize how haunted
Absolutely.
the place was. I think.
Yeah.
Um, there is a janitor in there that they say that a lot of people should watch out for. He 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 kind of likes his personal space a little bit, and
Mhm.
the same goes with the principal, which is on the second floor. Um, and on that third floor, I have no clue what is on that third floor, but I do intend to find out because after our last investigation, we've been in Broadhead Manor about 6 times now,
Mhm.
and every time we went in there, peaceful, calm, like they're, good energy and stuff like that. This last time, I don't know what it was, but we were feeling dread, anxiety,
Mm.
and it all came on that third floor. So what's ever on that third floor, I don't know. We actually caught a shadow figure on the third floor. I did a thing with my camera. This guy right there. You can set it up to where you can do microburst of like different shots and stuff like that. So I set it up for taking a picture of 3. First shot, nothing. Second shot, here comes the shadow figure. Third shot, the picture is complete blurriness. And I'm always going to keep that on my camera so that way people know, because you can't edit that kind of stuff on a camera. I'm sorry.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
So I'm going to always keep that on the camera and be like, if you don't believe me, here you go. Explain this. But
Directly from the source. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
And for anybody, from Texas or anywhere out there, or even Illinois, Wisconsin, anybody listening now, go to Broadhead Manor and make a reservation with Bill. You will not be disappointed.
Guys, I think we have to find a date on our calendar to
I agree.
I think so.
Well,
pencil it
we have-
in.
We have this little paranormal gauntlet that we have in the works here, and so I think we need to put Broadhead Manor as a stop for sure. On
Well, yeah,
that
because
thing.
it's just a little bit more north, and we can end at that one.
I
We
think
could.
what you guys
Where we
should
wanna
do
go.
is
You gonna come
Stop
with us, Nick?
stop at the Paracon and then investigate Broadhead Manor. And like Broadhead Manor just said, shadows, doors opening and closing, disembodied voices. I mean,
Guys, it sounds very. I didn't mean to cut you off, Nick.
no,
I'm
yeah,
sorry.
you're good.
It sounds very much kind of like the museum that we have. That we've been there 7 times, and now it's kind of like, what the hell's going on here? I love these kind of places, Nick. You got my ears all perked up right now.
Oh,
You definitely have Blake's
Um,
attention at the moment.
yeah, and like I said, Broadhead is great. I love Broadhead. Probably my top 2, I would say.
Wow.
Wow.
What's your
Out of
number
every
one?
place- yeah, what's your number one?
Indiana
That's what you're
State Sanatorium.
Ooh.
Tell us a
You
little
You said
bit
the
about
magic
that.
word, sanatorium.
Mhm.
Scariest place I have ever been to.
Okay.
It all started because we actually went to Ashmore Estates.
Oh wow, how was
On
that?
our list.
Ashmore was great. The owner, Robin Terry, he's fantastic. He treats everybody with respect, and he really knows how to treat the investigators and stuff like that. Like he's got little bunkers with heat and air conditioning and all this kind of stuff that you can sleep
Oh.
in, and it's great. So we did Ashmore Estates,
Mhm.
and I was just curious. I was like, okay, we're so close to Indiana. Let me just see. Typed it in our GPS. Indiana State is 1 hour away from Ashmore Estates.
No way.
And I was like, you got to be kidding me. There's no way. And I said, we're going. So I messaged Indiana State Sanatorium, and I just asked him because I didn't think, I was like, oh, it's probably going to be like $1,000 to investigate or whatever. And I was like, can we just go in and just look at the buildings, maybe take some photography? And they're like, well, why don't you just come investigate? And I was like, well, how much is that? And they're like, $50 a person. I was like, what?
What?
50 a person?
What?
But then again, we did go during the day.
Okay.
But I was like, okay. I was like, for how long? She goes, 6 hours. I was like, shit, done. Let's
What?
go.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But actually, right now, they lowered their price because it's wintertime. You
Mhm.
can actually investigate, I believe, for $400 for an entire night over there. I mean, yeah, it's going to be freezing
Whoa.
cold and stuff like that. But we went during the middle of July, and it was hot as shit. That I remember. We were sweating. It was disgusting.
Been there, done
We can hang. We investigate Yorktown Memorial Hospital a lot, and you're either freezing or you're sweating.
Yeah.
'Cause there's no
Mhm.
heat,
Yeah.
there's no air,
Yeah,
there's none of
and
that.
it was
Mhm.
that's to go back to Broadhead real quick on that one. There is no heat or air in the building as of right now.
Yeah.
But
Doesn't
Comes
matter.
with the territory.
Doesn't bother us.
Yeah.
It's part of being a
Yeah.
paranormal investigator.
Yeah, you gotta
just
rough it.
dress for the weather and stuff like that.
Yeah. Yeah. Take a
Um,
change of clothes if you have to.
Oh yeah.
Eh.
But to go back to Indiana State, like that was the biggest location I've ever been to. Ever since I saw it on Destination Fear, I had to
Mhm.
go. I
Mhm.
love, and that's the thing. I love Destination Fear. That's
Us too.
probably
Yeah.
I love that show. And what's really nice too is I did a top 5 countdown of like paranormal TV shows and stuff like that. Dakota saw it, and he personally, and Destination Fear was number 1. Dakota personally shared that on his group page.
Oh,
All
That's
these
no
cool.
people,
way.
and he even
That's
gave me
cool.
like advice too. He's like, I thought the video was great and all that, but try doing this a little bit, try doing that. I was like, oh my god,
That's so cool.
he's giving me advice and stuff. Like Dakota, Chelsea. I kind of have a small crush on her, but we'll skip that. And
Chelsea, if you listening, girl, call
um,
Nick.
Alex and Tanner, they're all very nice, down to earth people. But anyways, to get back to Indiana State, we saw it on there, and I wanted to go, and so we're there, and there's all these buildings falling apart, and I was like, this is I just really felt like I was in my element. Well, our last stop there, they have the psychiatric ward, of course, of
Hmm.
all places,
Mm-hmm.
the psych ward. There's 5 floors, and on the bottom floor is did I rank your show at number 18? No, 28 Days Haunted was good, I promise. Um,
I ranked
but
28 Days Haunted #1.
welcome to the hotline, which
I was just about to say this is turned into the late night with EVP
That's
on
later.
live broadcast.
Later.
but yeah, with Indiana State, we went to the psychiatric ward, and there's 5 floors. The bottom 2 floors are just like the main patient areas.
Mhm.
The 3rd floor was the women's ward. The 4th floor was the men's ward, and the 5th ward was the worst of the worst men, like murderers, killers, and all that kind of stuff.
Mhm.
My experience happened on the 3rd floor in the women's ward, and so we start from the we decided to start from the top and go down. So we started on the top. We had a door slam. That was about it up there. We go down to the 4th floor, and not much is happening. And I was like, you know what? We got to get something, because nothing really happened, but we just felt like a very eerie feeling all over all over that property.
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, you know what? I'm going to go down to the 3rd floor by myself. For those watching, don't ever go by yourself. Just don't do
No.
it. As soon as I left everybody else upstairs, I go downstairs, and as soon as I open that door, I just felt creepiness all around me, and like there was stuff staring at me and stuff. I'm walking down this hallway, and I hear like tap, 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 and I was like, "How's that noise?" I look outside, and it's raining. It's like pouring rain outside. I was like, "Oh, okay." I happen to look down with my camera straight down the hallway, and there's the figure looking at me, sticks its head out to the side, goes back in. And while all that's going on, like in my mind's eye, I was like, what the hell am I looking at? Like I didn't know. And I in my mind's eye, I saw like a girl with blonde hair and one of those hospital gowns on it, and like a little bit of blood. But
Wow.
on the video, and we caught this whole thing on video too. On the video, you don't see that. You just see the figure like stare out and then go back in. I said, and you can hear me on video. Oh my god, what the fuck? And I took off and ran so fast to go upstairs to tell everybody. And everybody's like, "Oh, why would you run? You're an idiot for running and all that." And I was like, "Look, when you're on a paranormal investigation, you do not expect to see anything like that at all. Like,
Mhm.
because you guys should know, going on a
Yeah.
paranormal
Yeah.
investigation is like watching paint dry. It's like one of the
Right.
most
Yeah.
boringest things.
A lot of
That's.
waiting.
I mean, you caught the holy grail.
Yeah, like
Yeah.
I'm on the 3rd floor, and I looked, and it freaked me out. Like my heart sank and everything, and I just took off like a son of a bitch down the hallway, ran upstairs, and but you clearly see this thing, and then right back in. And I was just like,
Wow.
what? You know, um, but
It
ever
unnerves
since
you. Yeah.
yeah, and ever since then,
Mhm.
like I want to go back at night now and see
Mm.
exactly what that was, because I think she was showing me so when I'm on an investigation, I usually don't get scared like that. Like I don't freak out and stuff like
Mhm.
yeah, here and there I have, but like
Mhm.
usually I contain my composure. I feel that she was showing me what she was going through. how she felt
Mhm.
inside of that place at all times.
Mhm.
And I feel there's kind of a connection because about 2 months later, this group we know, they went there. They went on the third floor and they kept getting an EVP that kept saying, Nick, Nick, Nick. I was like, oh, great.
Whoa.
Like, maybe I'm popular with the ghost ladies. I don't know
There you
too.
go.
But,
Got your new ghost girlfriend.
yeah, right. I have a story with that. I'll share.
Oh God.
Oh, please.
And but yeah, like Indiana State is definitely the top of my list because like they have underground tunnels that they brought people who had passed away, and like we
Mhm.
were walking in these tunnels and it's just getting darker and darker and darker, and there's no lights, there's no nothing down there, and it's so low like you can hit your head and stuff, but
Mhm.
we didn't hear anything or feel anything, or we felt like stuff was just right there, just
Mhm.
on your head at all times. Like I was scared to like turn around and stuff like that because I didn't know if somebody was going to be right there at my face.
Okay.
But if you guys need a haunted location, Indiana State, definitely that's my
I've
top.
already got it written down.
I'm in.
I take
I was
notes
like-
during the show, and so yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Shelley-
Shelly's got it on her notepad. Brittany is off screen in the green
Yeah.
room. Our producer like checking the calendar as we speak. But
When
first,
can we go?
before we go forward, Shelly just had to let you know that Nick told you for ranking his day or the 28 days haunted, he's going to send you an autograph and a pair of screen worn jeans for that. So he said thank you.
And Nick, I'll wear them too on my head so everybody can see. They'll be-
She ain't lying, dude. She should do it.
She ain't.
No.
She ain't. This is why we put her on camera.
Message me, Nick. Message me, Nick.
now I'll kind of go
Aaron
back.
can message me too. I like you both.
I'll kind of go to my ghost girlfriend thing real quick.
Oh yeah,
Yay.
please do.
Hell yeah.
Yes.
Okay, so there's been a long running joke with me that I have very sexy legs. Okay, we'll put that out there.
Let's
And
see them.
That
I'm
is
not showing
now.
them
Can I
now.
see 'em?
That is now forever on the internet.
Shelly
Sexy
said
legs,
pics.
Nick.
But
Pics or
the
it didn't
reason
happen.
the reason why is because I used to work at PetSmart.
Yeah.
And when I worked at PetSmart and everything, we used to do like cat donations and stuff like that. And you donate a can of food and stuff for a homeless pet.
Yeah.
So I'm at the cashier, bringing these two old ladies out and all that, and I was like, "Would you like to donate a couple cans of food?" And they're like, "No, not today." But I was wearing shorts, and they both, right at the same time, "You have very sexy legs. We're gonna donate 20 cans." So from there, it is.
You were churning me like butter, weren't you?
It was. So from there, it turned into this weird thing with my legs, and to bring on the ghost part. Have you guys ever been to or heard of Bachelor's Grove Cemetery?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah,
in Chicago.
You know, one of
Yeah.
it's one of the world's most haunted cemeteries and
Mhm.
everything. We're doing a spirit box session, and we were, this was during the day and everything, and somebody asked, "Who do you find attractive in the group?" Nick. And then right after that, well, why is Nick attractive? Sexy legs. And I was like, oh my God. Like, when the spirits tell you that, and it's like, okay, and that's why it just reminded me of with the encounter at Indiana State Sanatorium, and people are like, she may have wanted you. I was like, well, she could stay on that side for right now. I'm good.
She saw them sexy legs down the hallway. It was like, whoa.
I did have
Oh,
shorts on
yes.
too. So.
all of her
Just said, whoa.
inhibitions were dropped when she
So
saw
Shelly,
sexy
let me
leg
tell you,
Sarlo.
do you want to?
Yeah.
Do you still want Nick's jeans, or do you want a picture of my legs now?
Oh.
Both. Why do I have to choose?
I'm sorry, this is turning bad. Like we can't do that.
Why do I? No, we can do all. You
Shit,
can
our
do
viewer-
it.
our
That's
viewers
all
are used to it.
done.
Oh yeah.
Our viewers are used to it.
But yeah, like it definitely Indiana
I want 'em
State,
both.
Broadhead. I want both. Indiana State and Broadhead Manor and Ashmore Estates was pretty good too.
That
Definitely.
sounds a lot like
Ashmore
our
Estates,
encounter.
I
Go
got
ahead.
attacked by a bat for the first time. And that was great. I was like, "There's a
Ryan,
Ryan's been attacked by a bat.
Yeah,
you
Ohio
gotta-
State Reformatory. That sucker came right at me and
And
ran down the hall.
I
Tommy
did-
screeched and ran.
I did a YouTube short and I got 20,000 views by me going, "It's a bad."
Matter of fact, I think I've seen that YouTube short.
Bats, snakes, and spiders.
Man,
No. And dolls. I can't do dolls.
I said we can deal with the dead all day long, but one thing that paranormal investigators don't deal with is bats. It's like bats and paranormal investigators go together like oil and water. So
Can't do it. But yeah, so that's definitely my top places that everybody should definitely investigate. Yeah, Broadhead Manor does have bats. We haven't came across one yet. Sure, we will, and I will come back on the show and let you know how my experience was.
Yes.
Now,
Is-
Ryan, I know after we get off this, we're gonna have to make your YouTube video, which whenever you ran from a bat screaming, what every investigator screams, which is "oh fuck."
I'm telling you right now, YouTube Shorts is the way to go. It's way better than TikTok because a lot
Oh,
more
yeah.
people actually view your stuff now on YouTube Shorts. I've posted the same video on TikTok and I got 50 views, but then on YouTube Shorts I get 20,000. Wait,
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
nah.
Yeah.
Now,
So,
is
yeah.
there? I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Yeah, no, go for it.
I would say, is there anywhere on your paranormal bucket list like that you have not gone that you are absolutely dying to get into? No pun intended, but
Trans Allegheny Lunatic Asylum.
That's ours.
that's ours.
Okay. So you let us know, and we all gonna go together.
Trans Allegheny Lunatic Asylum. That place there, and now I'm gonna lose track of the name.
Penhurst.
Penhurst. Thank you.
Yes.
That's it.
You, Nick, you're my soul animal.
I was about to say, man, this is just meant to
Penhurst.
be right here.
You're coming with us, right?
Yeah. Let's go. We'll.
Yeah.
I'll wear shorts. And
Oh,
He'll
God.
he will wear shorts and bring Nick's pants with him. I mean, it's all great.
I'm gonna tell you right now, Sexy Leg Sarlo invited me to investigate with him, and I'm gonna take him up on
God.
it. It's happening.
well,
Oh,
it's
Lord.
past my bedtime.
Hey, you know what? SOS, Sexy Leg Sarlo. Yes, I'm in.
And like Carly said, the Winchester House. That's definitely another one.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah, for sure.
I still really want to go to. I'm probably gonna screw up the name. Proviglia Island in
Proviglia.
Italy.
Oh yeah,
Vaglia Island. Absolutely, yes.
Because I'm 50% Italian, and I don't know. I feel like I kind of like I have a connection.
Now,
with that place.
Pavalia, you have to have permission from the Italian government to get on that island, do you not?
I believe you do, and just like Ghost Adventures, though they got on, but I don't know how much they paid. But I do know that you need very special permission to get on that island.
Mhm.
Half the boat people will not even go there because of
Yeah,
how
it was a
haunted it is.
quarantine island, correct? It was pretty much you were really
Yes,
sick,
yes.
you went there to die, basically.
Yeah.
Essentially, yeah. That's where they sent you
Mhm.
if it was a death sentence with the plague.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then everybody and their mother's trying to get me to go to Island of the Dolls in Mexico. I was like, nope.
Oh,
not
I
going
want to
there.
go there. Oh, come on. You have to face your fear, Nick.
Not dolls.
Tip
I
it
don't
out.
do
No,
dolls.
you
Like,
have to.
did I?
Listen to me boss him around like I'm talking to you.
I know, right?
And the reason I don't do dolls is because one, they're creepy. I hate dolls. Like Chucky, that's hilarious. That's funny. Haha. Like that doesn't
Mhm.
scare me. But we met the real Annabelle doll.
Oh.
Nice.
We went to the Warrens Paracon 2 years ago when they first had it,
Mhm.
and we met Annabelle. And great, Broadhead Manor. I'm making a doll room just for Nick. I don't think so. But we
I'll
met.
send you one. I got one that looks like Annabelle. I'm trying to get her out of my house.
We met Annabelle, and then we saw like their haunted objects and stuff like that. Now, a lot of people say this is just coincidence and all that kind of stuff, but this is what happened 1 year after I met Annabelle. We saw Annabelle, me and Patrick. He's the co-founder of Shadow Hunters, and Patrick, I love the kid to death. We've been best friends since 5th grade. We actually almost lost Patrick. Unfortunately, he was one of the victims in the NIU shooting
Mm.
Oh.
and on Valentine's Day a couple years back. Luckily, though, he survived everything. He did get hit by a bullet, though.
Hmm.
It kind of grazed him and everything. But after that, um, that's when he really started to get with the paranormal and everything.
Hmm.
Near death experience.
Yeah. Um, so with that, Pat went with, and it was just Pat and I. We went and everything, and we're both looking at Annabelle. We're here to show you the utmost respect and everything, and all that. 1 hour after meeting Annabelle, I had the worst toothache I have ever had in my life.
Oh,
Okay.
no.
This toothache continued and continued and continued. I tried to get into a dentist. Sorry, we're full. Tried to get into another dentist. Sorry, we're full. Finally, I get into a dentist. 5 months later, and still having this toothache.
Damn.
It
Yeah.
ended up, I ended up having an infected tooth, and I ended up getting 2 wisdom teeth out because of this same tooth.
Whoa.
1 year later, after meeting Annabelle. Is it a coincidence? I don't know, but it's very, very weird that all that happened
Hmm.
because it was weird too because no dentist can see my teeth. They wouldn't look in. Sorry, we're full. We can't get you in.
Mm-hmm.
This happened. In the one day I ended up going to the dentist, I ended up losing my wallet somewhere. Like all this like crap happened after meeting
Whoa.
Annabelle. But finally, I got everything taken care of. Got the infected tooth out. Because I mean, my teeth are pretty good. I have pretty good teeth and stuff like that.
Hmm.
But and then I got the 2 wisdom teeth out. After that, everything settled. Everything was good. I don't know if it was from Annabelle or any of those haunted objects.
Hmm.
A lot of people think I'm crazy because I would love to go back and see Annabelle again and all that, but I don't know if that's why all that kind of stuff happened. I'm very, very open to that kind of stuff, like curses and this and that. Like I'm open to it.
Mm-hmm.
Nick's my spirit animal.
Do
I,
I
yes,
believe it could be? I don't know. But I mean, a lot of people are like, "Oh, it's just coincidence." No, you had an infected tooth, blah blah blah. But I was like,
it is very odd though that after an hour
right,
afterwards when it starts
The
bothering you.
timing. The
right, and
timing. Yeah.
but I think it was that weekend too because because where the Worms Paracon was, it was in Connecticut. That was the whole reason we were going out there. But we ended up staying in Massachusetts, and I tell you, never go to Massachusetts or Salem 3 days before Halloween. That was the
Oh
worst mistake we've ever
God,
did.
no.
Oh
We
man.
couldn't move, but the only thing that was free, and we got so many pictures, was all the Hocus Pocus locations. We got to see all the Hocus Pocus locations. That was really cool. Um, and then because it's so close, we even went to the Conjuring house.
Oh.
We saw the original Conjuring house.
Very nice.
They were filming and stuff like that, so they wouldn't let anybody on the property. And we're like, oh, okay. So we took our rental car and we went on that road 20 times, back and forth, getting pictures, videos, and all that. And that was like the coolest thing. Even though stuff in the Conjuring movie didn't actually happen like that,
Hmm.
um, it was still cool, very cool to see like where the movie concept came from and all that. But for any of your listeners or even you guys, if you guys have not been out that way, I highly recommend it. Like it was really cool just to be back in that time era and all that kind of stuff. Witches and
Yeah.
like yeah,
yeah.
warlocks,
Well, we're down
whatever.
on this end of the United States. When we go up there, we're gonna have to just hit them all at once.
But you know what
Um,
though? I've never been to Texas.
you know
Come
what? You
down.
come on, and we'll take you to a great place called Old Park Hotel in Ballinger,
Oh
Texas,
God,
which
yeah.
is where I have
Hmm.
caught full body shadow figures. Have been pretty much taken over in the middle of the
Now,
Christmas method.
what
Yeah,
part of Texas are you guys from?
We're
all
we're
over.
kind of we're kind of all over. We're not centralizing anything because I mean Texas has decided that it
Hmm.
wants to be as big as its
Its
own
own
country.
country. Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm
I'm
over
in
in
North Texas by
yeah
the
she's in
DFW area.
I'm over
Okay.
in the east part next to the Louisiana border.
And I'm in Central Texas around Austin. So
Okay.
yeah.
Because Natalie Jones, the CEO of PARAflixx, she
Mhm.
lives in Texas too.
Yes,
Mhm.
she does.
Oh
Mhm.
yeah.
So yeah, she's close to you guys, and I would love to go to Texas.
Will you come on? We
Come
got some
down,
good
man.
places.
Yeah.
We have the exclusive location, the Gregg County Historical Museum. Nobody can get in unless they go through us. We have a wonderful relationship with the curator, but she had someone come in before and they didn't take care of the location, so she doesn't
Mhm.
allow anyone to go in without us. But we'll be happy
Yeah.
to take you. And
Yeah.
Yorktown
I would.
Memorial Hospital, and ooh,
Yeah.
Yeah.
that one's
Park,
tricky.
yeah.
That one's rough.
That one's tricky.
Mhm.
Well, yeah,
I would.
and
And
you s-
that's kind of on our thing this year and next year too, is we want to travel more. So we want to go to Texas and we've been to Indiana and Wisconsin and all that kind of stuff. But um, uh, Ohio, we've been to Iowa,
Mhm.
South Dakota, North Dakota, and stuff like that. But no, I really want to go towards like
Well,
Louisiana,
yeah,
Texas,
yeah.
mhm.
and stuff.
Well, come down. We'll get you some good barbecue and take you somewhere real spooky.
And
Sounds
warm,
good.
warm
Mhm.
normally.
Yeah, yeah, and warm.
In
Yeah.
2 or 3 days,
Mhm.
we'll all be
Yes,
out of Texas.
because
So
I'm
it's
I'm
fine.
sick of this -10 crap right now. That
Yeah.
or sorry, Illinois is feeling.
Illinois.
Dude,
Both
people
of them?
say the S. I can't stand that when people say the S at the end
Yeah,
of
it's
it.
Illinois. Yeah, right.
Yeah.
Now
Oh,
we
we're going
have
to
been up
Illinois.
in we have been up and investigated in Ohio, Kentucky, West Virginia. Yeah,
Mhm.
we have gotten up there, and we just found that we never had enough time. We're going every time we find one more place. We're like, crap, can we work this in during the day and then do this one all night
Mhm.
tonight? We're like, when are we going to sleep? We're like, screw
Right.
it, we'll sleep on the plane back. It's
Yeah.
like. Yeah, we ran on very little sleep, but if you come on down, we'll figure it out. We'll pack in as much into your time as you have time to do. So
Yeah,
Yeah.
I would,
Mhm.
like I said, I would love to go to Texas, different places. Um, uh, I mean, you guys had mentioned Kentucky. We would love to go to Kentucky. The
have you
one
been to
place,
Bobby Mackey's?
no, and what's funny is you just pulled
Mhm.
that out of my head. Because I was gonna
Psychic.
say with Bobby Mackey's
Mhm.
though, do you actually believe it's haunted?
Y- y- Yeah, I
Because
mean, there.
there's stuff going back and forth with Bobby Mackey saying it's not really a portal and all that.
I
And
personally don't believe that it's a portal. I think there's
No,
some residual energy there, and we did get some interesting things.
we
Mhm.
did.
But I'll tell you right now, it's not really
Yeah,
the well that's haunted. It's that staircase that leads to the well.
Hmm.
probably. Yeah.
That's
Um,
my opinion.
We were standing around and saw someone run up that staircase who wasn't with the group, and we went after him, and there was nowhere they could have gone.
Three
mhm.
different
So,
people saw this shadow. We had the lights off, and three
hmm
different people. So I felt someone go right past me. The guy was on the other side of me. It went between us, and
Mhm.
Ryan was standing over on this side, and he saw something run up. And
Yeah.
I actually turned to see if the guy standing next to me had run up the stairs. He thought it was me. I thought it was him. Ryan saw something go up between us. Flip those lights on, and I go, Karen, who is that? No, nobody
Yeah.
there.
And
nowhere
I
for them to
mean,
go.
it could be haunted. It may not be. And
Hmm.
maybe just sometimes people just don't get that experience. It's not going to happen for everybody.
No,
It
Yeah.
doesn't.
No.
Hmm.
And like Broadhead just said, come spend a weekend with them because you do need a full weekend with Broadhead Manor just to
good to know.
Okay.
Good
experience
to
of
know
the building
because
and stuff. Um,
we enjoy doing those extended times.
oh
We're
yeah.
because
Hmm.
we know that a lot of paranormal groups like they're like, oh, we're gonna go here and they go stay a night. Well, we like to try and stay entire weekends if we
Oh
can,
yeah. Absolutely. Like
to be really immersed in the
we
activity
really
that's
want to
happening
go
there.
to Ronnie D's place, Old South Pittsburgh Hospital.
Oh yes,
We want to go
Yep.
there,
absolutely.
and then we want to go to his new one, Harriman Old
Yes,
Hospital.
The Harriman.
Harriman
Yep.
He's
Hospital.
actually going to be
Yes,
a vendor at Spirits in the spring.
very
He's
nice.
Make that
coming for
connection, Nick. Make
That's
that
awesome.
connection.
right. But he knows Greg Koss really well. Who does the show with us and everything. But God, yeah, there's so many places that I want to go to and all that. Like we even find random places to go to. Like we'll find a random cemetery and be like, oh, let's go here. You never know, it might be haunted. And behind my house, we have a Native American burial ground, and we've investigated back there before, and we've caught like a white shroud just like take off. And
Hmm.
um, God, when I moved here when I was 10, and when I uh, went back there to investigate, my mom's like, "Great, I cannot believe this is where we live. We live with talking ghosts now. How exciting!" and all that kind of stuff. And I got my mom to believe in the paranormal and my dad, and we even have a ghost kid that lives with us right now too, because of me, because I didn't know how to protect myself.
Mm-hmm.
Talk to Blake about that being dragged out of bed in the middle of the night.
Yeah, being dragged out of my bed in the middle of the night. That was fun after going to Yorktown Memorial Hospital. That's
Yeah.
great. Yeah.
We went to, there's a place out here called the Coronado Theater, and it's in Rockford, Illinois, and it's where
Mhm.
Judy Garland performed, Frank
Mhm,
Sinatra,
mhm,
and all that kind
mhm.
of stuff. And we did a spirit box session downstairs in the main auditorium. And I asked, this is the first time I've ever did one. I didn't protect myself. I didn't do anything. And I asked, is there anybody here with us? And I get, yes. How old are you? 7. What's your name? Jimmy. That was it. Nothing else. Well, 3 years later, we decided to do a spirit box in my house. Just kind of see what was going on.
No, thank you.
And same thing. Is there anybody here? Yes. How old are you? 7. What's your name? Jimmy. I was like, oh, shit.
Oh no,
Oh,
he came with you.
but Jimmy, he's lived with us ever since. And, sometimes we'll hear like footsteps going up and down the stairs. And even my dog just looks like, who the hell are you? Like, what are you, what are you doing in the house? And
Mm-hmm.
we've even said before, like, Jimmy, it's time for breakfast. Come on down. And we'll hear boom, 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 boom. He comes downstairs.
Wow.
But we've never had a problem with Jimmy or anything like that. But
God, what's that like? Because the ones
Yep.
in my house are fucking assholes, man.
but yeah, we have a ghost kid that lives in my house because I didn't protect myself. And that's the thing, guys. Always make sure to protect yourself. Either
Absolutely.
whether
Mhm.
you're religious or you're not. Protect yourself. We do 2 things. We do the prayer to Saint Michael for people that are religious, and then we also do a white light ceremony just in case. Because that's our thing too, and that's why we added and events, because we do different events and stuff like that. We do a
Mhm.
ghost hunting event where we take people with us and they get dinner and ghost hunting. It's kind of like a perfect date right there, dinner and ghost hunting.
It's my perfect
And
day.
Yeah.
and we always make sure that every person is protected because safety is our number one priority.
Absolutely.
Us
Preaching to
too.
the choir.
Mhm.
Mhm.
Us too.
But,
Yep. Go ahead, Blake.
Huh?
What?
Oh, I'm sorry. I thought you were about to say something, Blake.
Oh, no, I wasn't. Go ahead. No. Don't let me cut you off. Go ahead, Shelly.
No, I wanted to know because you had said that you had investigated Six Flags for the show. Would you please tell our viewers if they want to go and see that, where they could go and see where you investigated Six Flags? Is that available somewhere for them to go and watch?
Unfortunately, it is not. So, Great America was glad that we did it and everything like that. But there was a YouTube video. They did request us to take it down, which is perfectly
Oh
fine.
no.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But Great America, and that's the other thing about me. I love ghost hunting, but I love roller coasters. That is my number one thing. Right? I love roller coasters. They're my favorite. I'm definitely a roller coaster junkie.
Me too. I'm with you, man.
So just any type of roller coaster, I'll do it. Well, it depends. But yeah, so I mean, I still love Great America and everything like that. And because I live only 10 minutes away from the park, I have a season pass. I go all the time and everything. People are like, "How do you have time to ghost hunt?" I was like, "Easy. Go to Great America during the day. I ghost hunt at night. It's that
That's
easy."
right.
What do you not understand?
I mean, if you come down here, we got a Six Flags in San Antonio and up in Dallas Fort Worth. So if you got
Yeah.
seasons pass, we can hit
'Cause
that
you
up
guys
too if you
are
want to.
Six Flags over Texas, right? Yeah.
That's
Mhm.
right.
Yes.
And then Six
Yes.
Flags Fiesta.
Yeah,
Mhm.
I'll bring my pass and we'll go and
Yeah, you and Ryan can go ride those roller coasters.
Have a good
I'll
old
pay
time.
3 in the bar. You let me know when you're ready to go. I'll
I
be like the
love
mom sitting
I
up
don't know
there.
what it is. I love roller coasters and I finally went to Cedar Point.
Oh yes.
I had a great time at Cedar Point. But God, I haven't been there in like
Millennium Force.
8 years. I loved Millennium Force. It was a
Mhm.
good ride.
What are you talking about?
Me and Shelly are like, so where are we going to be scouting out? And Ryan's like Millennium Force.
Top
But
Mhm.
see,
rope
I
rider.
know exactly what he's talking about, and if
Mhm.
you ever come out here, I'll take you to our Great America. We have Max Force, we have Raging Bull, we have the
What are we
Wizard.
talking about?
They're right.
I'm with you. I'm coming.
But no,
me
it's
and Blake will be taking a nap, so we just
Shelly's-
good and refresh
Shelly's
the
like-
ghost hunt.
I love
Shelly's
having
like-
fun. That's
Oh,
the
yeah.
main
Well,
part
so-
of it, and,
so do we.
having fun, and because for my day job, I'm a vet tech. Like I work at
Hmm.
Banfield
Oh, cool.
Pet Hospital, inside of PetSmart. So I do stuff with
Okay,
animals, and I love animals too. So
Nick, I am really deaf. I thought you said you were a butt tech.
but yes, I'm
It-
doing those colonoscopies daily. Like
I got
That's-
very confused for a hot minute.
That's why he
Vet.
he went away from the
Vet.
probing earlier. Got
Yes,
it. Okay.
he knows.
There you
the
go.
other-
Full circle. Full
Um,
circle right there.
So you're actually a vet tech, correct?
Tech. So I
I didn't understand your
With
accent.
the
No, you're
knee.
I love helping animals and stuff like that. Dogs and cats. But if it's a spider or a snake, you are on your own.
I agree.
I won't go near that way, but
Absolutely.
Well, gentlemen, Nick, if you would hang with us for just a quick second.
Yeah.
I have to tell you guys, we've had so much fun talking to Nick this evening. Make sure that you go and find the Spirits in the Spring Paracon website. There's probably links to it on our
Yep.
page already. We've been promoting it. It's $10 to get in. If you bring a canned goods, it's $20. If you don't, it's from 6 a.m. To 10 a.m. to 6 p.m. on April the 22nd. That is a Paracon at Broadhead Manor in Wisconsin. So all of our peeps up there in that area that are listening, y'all go to this. You get a magic show. You get to battle Michael Myers. You get to do a conga line. And you get to do a ghost hunt. Come on now. How
I
can you
know.
beat that? So, Blake, why don't you go and tell them what the rest of the stuff they need to know, and I'll outro Nick same time outro us. How about that?
Sounds good. Well, remember, whatever social media channel you're watching us from, we're not just on that channel, so make sure you go follow us across the board for a shortcut to all of our social platforms, our Patreon channel, our public investigations, all of that kind of stuff. Go find the Linktree link in our bios or About Me sections. Be taken directly where you want to go. We've got some great content coming out in 2023. So make sure you don't miss out and follow us across the board. Also, remember, if you join our Patreon for just $5 a month, not only are you getting over 75 videos of extra bonus content of us acting stupid and crazy, but you're also entered to win an on-screen appearance with us, as well as a free investigation on us. All you have to do is get there. We'll take care of the rest. And also, don't forget to submit your questions for our 2-Question Tuesday segment on said Patreon, where as long as it's not on a tax return, we will try and give you the best answer that we can. If you have those questions, those can be sent to us on any social media channel or to the evppod@gmail.com, THEEVPPOD@gmail.com.
Like, share, and subscribe. So
Absolutely.
for everybody tonight, thank you so much for joining us. For my partners in the paranormal, Mr. Blake Smith and Mr. Ryan Roberts, and a very special thank you to Sexy Legs Nick
Oh,
Sarlo,
God.
the
Oh,
founder
boy.
of Shadow Hunters Paranormal Investigations and Events, podcaster, filmmaker, and promoter, and I guess you're basically guru of the Spirits in the Spring Paracon. Thank you so much, Nick. We have thoroughly enjoyed having you.
Absolutely.
So-
I had a great time. This is probably one of the best podcasts that I have ever been on.
Well,
I
thank
do.
you
Thanks, man.
so much.
I appreciate that.
Mhm.
Well, for everything vaguely paranormal, I'm Shelley Pruitt. Thank you so much. And as always, we will see you next Tuesday.